Welcome to the Guild Tremor video strategy guides. I'm Danton, one of our main tanks, and today I'll be explaining the Blood Prince Council encounter within Icecrown Citadel. The Blood Princes share a health pool of just over 5.6 million hit points and can only truly be damaged one at a time, which is due to something called Invocation of Blood. When one of the princes gains Invocation of Blood, that single prince gains a new ability and deals significantly more damage, in addition to having what remaining health is shared between them. The other two princes will have 1 hit point. The enrage timer is a generous 10 minutes, which should pose no significant problem. Our setup calls for 2 tanks, 2 healers, and 6 DPS. The focus of the main tank is Prince Valinar and Prince Taldaram, both of which are tanked at the top of the stairs to provide the most room around them. Significant amounts of damage will be dealt to the main tank, so popping a cooldown right off the bat should help mitigate some initial damage as the raid gets set up. Prince Keleseth is to be picked up by the off-tank and tanked at range. Immediately upon gaining aggro of Keleseth, the off-tank will need to start running around and picking up the dark nuclei that spawn, as gaining their focus causes a debuff that reduces shadow damage taken to their target. The dark nuclei will slowly destroy themselves over time, so picking up new ones will be one of the off-tank's top priorities in order to survive. As for individual abilities, Prince Keleseth will cast only one damaging ability, Shadow Lance. This deals around 17,500 shadow damage to the target and is resistible. If Keleseth gains Invocation of Blood and becomes empowered, he will cast Empowered Shadow Lance. This deals around 87,500 unresistible shadow damage. For this reason alone, the Dark Nuclei are required to survive. He does no other abilities except to summon the Dark Nuclei at random intervals. Prince Valinar will be the first to gain Invocation of Blood. His 2 main abilities are Shock Vortex and Kinetic Bomb. Shock Vortex creates a swirling force at a set location near players that will cause a knockback effect on them. Kinetic Bomb, on the other hand, is a floating ball which is aptly named Disco Balls by our guild members. They spawn at random locations and will slowly float towards the ground. Attacking them will force them back up into the air. Should they actually touch the ground, they will deal around 12,000 physical damage to every player in the room and will knock them back 200 yards. We usually have a ranged class focused specifically on the kinetic bombs to prevent their damage from happening. Invocation of Blood grants Empowered Shock Vortex, which places a Shock Vortex on all players within 30 yards of Valinar, which activates after a short cast time. Any players within 10 yards of each other will suffer 7,500 physical damage and be knocked back 50 yards. Melee should be looking out for this ability at all times when he is empowered. Prince Taldaram will cast 2 abilities, Conjure Ball of Fire and Glittering Sparks. Conjure Ball of Fire will spawn a literal ball of fire, which travels towards a random raid member. The Ball of Fire will deal less damage over time the longer it is kited away, to a minimum of 10,000 fire damage. Glittering Sparks is cast in a frontal cone and will place a debuff on raid members dealing around 16,000 fire damage over 8 seconds, and it will reduce their movement speed by 20%. This can and should be dispelled at all times. When Taldaram gains Invocation of Blood, he casts Conjure Empowered Ball of Fire. The Empowered Ball of Fire will target a random ranged raid member and fly towards them, dealing damage to any and all raid members near the Ball of Fire. This in turn reduces the final damage dealt to the target when it reaches them. Our melee group usually runs with the ball to distribute the damage evenly and to prevent the target from dying. Some generalized tips for this encounter are to watch out for the shock vortexes, as they can sometimes be hard to see, have a ranged class focused specifically on the disco balls, have everyone stay spread out, and assign 1 healer to 1/2 of the room to spread out the heals. Once the raid understands the pattern of events that happens during this encounter, the encounter itself should be trivial and rather easy. As always, thanks for watching our videos. If you have any questions, I encourage you to post them in the YouTube comments section below, or feel free to visit our website forums at www.feelthetremor.com.